The case of assaults on women in India is a very severe and important case that should be discussed. The world first started looking into this subject in 2008 and by 2012 had accumulated alarming evidence. In 2012, crime against women was being committed every 3 minutes in all different severity. 2012 had a total of 244,270 incidents of violence against women in India. With these results, 65% of men believe that the woman being attacked should be able to deal with these violent attacks and not let them affect them. By 2013, the amount of incidents went up to 309,546 in total. 118,866 were domestic violence and 70,739 were molestation, and 33,707 were rape cases. In most incidents, they are either not reported or not taken very seriously, leading to no punishment in this horrible behavior. In the world alone, 50% of assaults are on women younger than 16, and 1 in 10 are against women younger than 14. This issue is affecting many across India, and to show you just how real this problem is, we are going to our live reporter in the field.
Okay, go. Hi, I'm McKenna with 60 Minutes, and today we're here to talk about the assault on women in India. The gang rape and subsequent death of an Indian physiotherapy student in 2012 caused a nationwide protest calling for better protection for women against sexual violence. But 3 years on, they still hold the reputation as the rape capital. In 2 incidents this month, girls aged 2 and 5 were raped in Delhi. One was taken from near her home, raped and abandoned in a park, unconscious and bleeding. The other was lured by a neighbor to his house, where he and 2 others raped her. In both cases, the children were abducted by people who lived in their neighborhoods. These attacks came 1 week after a 4-year-old girl was allegedly raped and slashed with a blade before being abandoned by a railroad track. One can no longer look at sexual violence in isolation. Audrey DeMello, a director of programs at Majlis Legal Center, a nonprofit group of advocates and social workers, said in a phone interview from Mumbai. Results of a large study it conducted involving 644 cases of rape in Mumbai. Fathers raping daughters is almost as high as stranger rape, at about 8 to 9% of all the rapes Majlis studied. This studious 20-year-old, studying for an engineering degree, was doubly betrayed by her parents. In her teens, she endured repeated sexual assault at the hands of her father and went to Mumbai police station to report him. Her case came to court relatively quickly, following the recent passage of India's new Prevention of Child Sexual Offence Act. But Asmita faced enormous pressure to drop the charges from her mother and elder sister. Eventually, her mother was able to produce a birth certificate showing Asmita as a legal adult of 18 and not 17 years and 9 months as her school certificate claimed, helping her father evade the far more stringent penalties applied to child rapists. Today, we are on scene in the Thar Desert of India with her. She has allowed us to come into her life today and tell us her painful story. In order to keep her protected, she has chosen to keep her face anonymous. Thank you so much for coming out today. I cannot imagine how difficult it is for you to talk about these things. And we at 60 Minutes appreciate you opening up to us in order to educate people on sexual violence.
Thank you so much for your sympathy. I'm here today to finally talk about the damage that not only I experienced, but many others in India.
I know this will be hard for you, but can you please tell us what happened on that horrible
Once my
night?
father came downstairs, he grabbed me roughly and dragged me to the basement of our house. This is when I knew it was going to happen again. He had a look of emptiness on him, and did not even seem to care that he was abusing
When did you go to the police?
the house before the rest of my family woke up. From there, I went straight to the police station and reported my father for raping me.
Did you know that this was a risk?
Absolutely. I knew I was going to receive backlash from my father's friends, uncles, all the male presence in my life was going to hate me.
What didn't you expect?
Get so much hate from my mother and sister. I thought they would be supportive, that they would understand what I was going through. I mean, you would think a mother would fight for their child no matter what, but not at all. My mother and sister hated me
How did this support help
for
you?
it.
In the end, what happened with the case?
My father was never found guilty for child rape. My mother and sister changed my birthday so I was 18 at the time of the incident. This meant that my father basically was let go and did not serve any time for years of damage he caused me. This also meant I had no family to go back to, as my mother and sister both were against me and my father abused me.
How does it feel to be back in India?
It feels amazing to be back where I started. I'm glad to be back and not be afraid of anyone or anything.
Thank you so much for this interview and sharing your story. It will help many. That is all for now. Hopefully this brought light to such an important topic.
Go.
We at 60 Minutes brought Asmita's story to life to show the tragedies happening to women every single day in India. We bring such horrible stories out into the open in an attempt to prevent them from ever happening again. Thank you for watching.